Welcome to Margaret's Kitchen. Nothing takes away a winter's chill more than a cup of soup. And today we're going to talk about soups. Soups aid in digestion. They stimulate the appetite. You can make big batches of soup to freeze and pull them out of the freezer on a cold winter's day. You can send them to school with your children. And they can be the main dish of the meal, which is really neat. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about two different types of soup. Hamburger tomato-based soups. You probably all have your favorite traditional homemade chili recipe. I happen to make my tomato chili with tomato juice. You can use canned tomatoes, or you can use tomato soup. I like to add ketchup to mine. That really brings the chili all together. And don't forget about the chili mix. I like to brown up my hamburger with onions and have this ready to go for soups. Nothing saves more time in the kitchen. An interesting twist on homemade chili is a homemade taco soup. Now, this is made with kidney beans and Mexican style tomatoes. They are very, very spicy, and they add some heat to the soup, and a can of corn. And I like to crush up some tortilla chips with some melted cheese on top. This is probably our favorite type of soup out of all the soups. Now, this white chili, I don't know how many of you have used chicken to make this type of recipe. I use navy beans in mine. Chicken broth goes good in this, and your beans and your chicken and some salsa. And on top of this, I like to crush up some Dorito chips. They add a little kick to the soup and make it very, very tasty. Now, with this same frozen hamburger, a real fun soup to make, a real hearty soup to make, is a hamburger vegetable soup. This particular kind of soup can be made with any type of vegetable: carrots, peas, corn, beans, onions, you name it, and leftover vegetables. It's kind of a cool way to use up your leftover vegetables. This is made with a beef and tomato-based mixture, and that brings that soup all together. I like to use, when I use chicken bouillon, I like to use this particular brand. It's Knorr, Knorr. Now, the minestrone soup is simply your hamburger vegetable soup minus the hamburger. This, I used a cooked pasta. You have all your vegetables in that, and kidney beans is added to that. And don't forget Italian seasoning. This is what makes this soup so interesting and delicious. Tomato soup, we grew up as kids with homemade tomato soup. This is a traditional old-fashioned kind of tomato soup with chopped tomatoes that have been boiled out of a can. Put a pinch of baking soda in that mixture so it doesn't curdle, and your milk. Chicken can be used in a multitude of ways. If you have leftover chicken, whether from a rotisserie chicken, maybe you've baked a chicken, boiled a chicken, use that broth. And I happen to make a chicken and dumpling soup for this today. You can use homemade noodles, store-bought noodles, rice. We all know how good homemade chicken noodle soup is for colds. And then beans. We can't forget about beans. They're full of protein. They're a low burning carbohydrate. They keep you full a long time. And navy bean soup, if you happen to have boiled a ham, use that ham bone and the chunks of ham, and with your carrots and your maybe a few tomatoes and onions. And you can add, your chicken broth to this too, for if you need a little extra flavor. A lentil soup doesn't always sound the best, but if you buy canned lentils or canned black beans, and you add a chicken broth to that with your vegetables, your onions, and your peppers and celery, carrots, the key to that is saute those vegetables for quite a long time. That adds the flavor to that lentil soup. And you wouldn't think it would be delicious, but it really is. And try adding a little bit of lemon juice to that when you're done with that. And the cream-based soups, can't forget about them. They're made with a cream-based white sauce, which consists of milk, flour, and butter. This is ham and potato soup. We also grew up on ham and potato soup. So simple to make with boiled potatoes, carrots, onions, celery, whatever you like. added with your white sauce. This has ham. You can use bacon. I just tweaked that a little bit, this soup, by adding some corn and bacon, and this is ham corn chowder, another wonderful type of soup. And making your cream-based soups, I will say one thing for a secret to those. Try to use half of your milk as like half and half, or whipping cream, or whatever a heavier type of milk is. It just makes that much more of a creamy soup. And then cheesy broccoli, that's simply your white sauce too, with cheese added to that. So these are all the soups that, and I'm sure you have a lot of other recipes. They're fun to make and comforting in the winter. I would just encourage you to go ahead and I hope today I have given you homemade soup fever. I hope that can be remedied by looking through old cookbooks, old recipes. Maybe I've given you a few tips today. I forgot to tell you about, I did make a few different types of breads to go with soup. Breadsticks go good with chili. Grilled cheese goes good with tomato. There's cornbread, that goes with any type of soup. Buns, you can make barbecues, hot ham and cheese, egg salad, ham salad, chicken salad, you name it. There's just an endless variety. We like a fresh cinnamon roll also to go with soups. And little muffins or a loaf of cinnamon bread. So try to get your kids involved in the kitchen with making homemade soups. Those memories are precious. You'll never get them back as kids get older. And they like, I guess even when they do get older, they still like to help in the kitchen. So try out some different kinds of soup today. Nothing more comforting in the winter, and have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.